Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and this is going to be a new piece of gear that I just picked up. Now, if you're into knives and EDC equipment and stuff like I am, you know that besides a good knife, you also need a good sharpening system. I by no means am a good sharpener. In other words, I need a sharpening system that's as easy to use as possible. And basically, that's what I look for. I know there's a lot of sharpening systems out there that are very expensive, but they'll give you really good results. But for the most part, I just need my knife to be sharp enough to be able to do the majority of EDC tasks, cutting open boxes, opening mail, cutting paracord, things like that. So I don't necessarily need a $200 system. I just need something that's going to keep my knives in good working order. Now, for the most part, this is what I normally use. This is the Lansky turn box. It's pretty easy. It's got the 2 degrees right here, 20 degrees and 25 degrees. You just put the rods in there. The rods are actually housed inside of the sharpener itself. This one right here is actually the ceramic and diamond rod edition. They do have one that comes with a little bit more of a coarse and the ceramic, so it just depends on what you get out there. And then you just stick the rods in there. The rods kind of stand up at the angle that you need, and you just push the knife through it, and you're good to go. Again, that's what I normally use. I was at my local Bass Pro Shop today, and I saw this, so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. Just like anything else, it caught my eye. It was nice and shiny, and I figured, I'd give it a shot. Maybe it works a little bit better. Basically, this is by a company called Work Sharp, and it's the guided field sharpener. Now, one of the things that they do say about this particular sharpening device is that it's it gives you the ability to sharpen knives and tools and stuff like that while you're out in the field. So it gives you a lot of different options, but it's mainly that. If you're going to throw it in a tackle box or in an EDC bag or something like that, or a camping backpack, that's what this right here will let you do. And as you can see, it has 5 different stages, 2 diamond plates, 2 ceramic rods, and a leather strop. So that was pretty cool. The leather strop is the one thing that I had never tried. I know a lot of guys out there with with their EDC blades, they do use a strop to kind of keep it, to maintain it, so you don't have to actually sharpen it all the time. So I wanted to try it out definitely for that. Also, this does have the different guides on it, so it obviously puts the blade at whatever the angle is, so you don't have to it takes basically the guessing out of what angle am I sharpening my knife at. So here's a couple of examples of what it is, but I do have the actual sharpener right here, so I can show you. So this is it right here. Obviously, as you guys can tell, I have been testing it out. I wanted to make sure that I got a little bit of usage out of it to be able to give you a little bit better example of how to use it. So here it is. It's size comparison with a turn box. It's almost the same size. I'd say about 6 inches length right here, about an inch wide, maybe an inch and a half in these areas right here. And it's very easy to put into a pocket in an EDC bag or into a toolbox or anything like that and have it with you. So as you saw by the packaging, it does have 2 diamond plates right here, and basically this one right here is a very coarse plate, and then this is just another regular diamond plate. And if you guys, let me see if I can focus this so you can see, it's got right here, it says 20-degree guide. So basically, on either side of the actual sharpener, you have the guides on there to guide you as far as what degree the blade is going to be at. So if you follow the instructions, which are actually cleverly hidden right inside the sharpener right here, this is the instructions right here. It comes up rolled up in this little tube, and basically it just sits in there. The plates are actually held inside by magnet. That's the coarse one, and on the other side you also have that one. And the reason that they have that is so you can take them out and clean them if you needed to, and then they're held in there with a magnet. So the way it describes, the instructions describe to use is if it's a very dull blade, go ahead and use the coarse side. If it's not very dull, you just kind of want to, sharpen it back up, then use the not so coarse side. So right on this side, you have, not only do you have a lanyard hole, but you have an actual area to rest your fingers while you're holding it. And sorry about that. By way of example, I'm going to use this little K-bar dozier. This is the one of the knives that I use when I'm doing my paracord products and stuff like that. It's just a little, I think, maybe 2-inch blade. So basically what you do is you just rest the blade right up against that guide, and then you just draw it, okay? You draw it over the stone right there, and then you just repeat the process on the other side and rest it on the guide, and then draw it back. Now, one thing I did find that I didn't like was the fact that, if you guys notice right here where the thumb stud is, it doesn't allow the knife to actually go all the way to the tip, so you actually have to kind of start like this and bend the tip, but kind of turn the knife this way so you can get, sharpen every single piece of the blade. So, again, just, working it out. So the instructions then say to take it over to the ceramic rod, and the ceramic rod actually has this little turn wheel right here. It's got an F, a C, and then a little picture of a hook. And basically that is, if you have it right here, would be your fine, so you can, do the second step in sharpening the knife. It's just a fine edge. Then the C will actually be for coarse, and I don't know if you guys can tell. Basically, what it is the rod is actually split into a lot of little sections going the length of the rod, and that's supposed to be used, again, as the instructions describe, on an edge that will give you more of a toothy edge. So they say it's for better rope cutting and for bushcrafting. Again, it's not going to be for serrated edges specifically. It's going to be for a plain edge, but it's going to give you more of a toothy edge on the actual blade. And then the last one would be for your hooks, and that's just a bigger opening right there, and you just run the hooks through the actual rod. So if you go and turn it over to the fine, again, you do get the angles right here, so you would hit your rest your blade on the angle and then just draw it, okay? And then the same thing for the other side. Alright, and then last but not least would be your strop, and it does have the angles for the strop right here as well. So if you rest the blade on there, and then you go ahead and strop it, and then the same thing on the way back. It has the angle set up, so you can go ahead and do that, and then your blade should be good to go. Another thing that the sharpener actually has, and if you notice right here, it has a little separate section of ceramic rod, and this is supposed to be designed for serrations, so you can sharpen your serrations. Obviously this is not a serrated knife, but if you were to think it had serrations on there, and then you're good to go. Now, the only thing that I did notice is the rod right here for the serrations is a little bit thicker than some of your serrated knives that have like variable sizes on the serrations. So that's just one thing to consider. This will definitely accommodate the thicker serrations, but not the thinner ones. So, that's, again, it just depends on the type of knife that you have, and that, maybe, they envision that you'll have a knife in the field that's going to have wider serrations. So, that's how you're going to use it. All in all, it actually put a really nice working edge on this little knife, which is good enough to cut paracord and stuff like that, which is definitely what I'd be using it for. So it works for that. Now, they do obviously say that once your knife is sharp, you don't have to repeat the whole process. Obviously it's up to you. You can, you can do the whole process every time, but if not, you can just, do the strop, or do the fine edge and then the ceramic, or just the ceramic, whatever it is that you want to do. I think it's a cool little tool. It definitely gives you a lot of different options. Like I said, these do come off, so you can clean them, but you have a little bit more room in there. So if there's other stuff that you want to store in there, like maybe some tinder or something like that, so you have a little bit more room to do that. Again, obviously thinking outside the box. You got the little lanyard hole there, so if you want to throw a lanyard on there to kind of give you a little bit more grip while you're sharpening, you're good to go. So I think for the most part, this is a cool little sharpening system because of the fact that it does give you those different angle guides that if you're not if you're not really good at sharpening your knife like I am, they definitely come in handy. Both of these, this one and the Lansky Turnbox are right around the same price points. Like I said, I picked this one up at Bass Pro. You might be able to find it somewhere else. The company, again, it's Work Sharp right there. You see it right on the top. So if you guys want to check it out, definitely I would recommend picking one up just to kind of see what it's all about. Construction is very nice. It definitely feels very, very sturdy. Now the only drawback is the rods, especially the ceramic one, do not come loose. So if you do want to wash it off and clean it, you'd have to do it on the actual sharpener, which is fine. You just take off the diamond rods and then just dry off the leather strop once you're done. I guess I'm not sure if that'll cause any damage to the strop, but for the most part, again, it's supposed to be something that you'll use in the field. So if it's going to be your everyday sharpener, then keep that in mind. All right, so there you go. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.